Head coach Shane Witzel has brought with him senior guard number 15, A.J. Webb, junior guard number 22, Gabe Owens, senior forward number 30, Christian Hollenkamp. Coach, and also number
22 here.
22 just walked in, 33, junior forward Chris Harlow. Coach, congratulations on being the state champions.
Thank you very much.
First off, AJ, what was going through your head when you're going on
Thanks, sir.
that shot?
I just seen separation between me and my defender, and it was an open shot, so I took it and shot it with confidence.
Well, Coach, were you trying for a three-point shot down the stretch, or were you just
Well, I mean, we got some good three-point shooters, and that's one of the strengths of this team, is we got some guys that are capable of shooting the shot, and we try to utilize that to our strength. But obviously, if something else makes itself available, then we'll take it. And we ran a different quick hitter for that. They did a good job of taking Gabe away, but sometimes good defense teams try to do that, and players have to make plays. And AJ's been doing that all year long. It's just the stage, the circumstances. It was a huge shot. He got a good, clean look at it, and he knocked it down. He's got a lot of guts, and he's willing to take that shot. And can't be more pleased for him and the rest of these guys sitting here with me.
Coach, you guys really struggled in the second half offensively on a long stretch without a point. I'm a rookie with Gabe hitting those 2 threes to start the fourth quarter. I mean, that was huge for you. I mean, it really kept getting involved basically.
Yeah, the good thing is they weren't scoring either. And a lot of that has to do with our defense. And that's the thing that we impress upon our players. The defense doesn't have slumps. I did feel like we got some decent looks, as good as you're going to get in a state championship game, and we missed them, and that's all part of it. But we were mentally tough enough to get stops down on our end, and we kept plugging away, and finally got him freed up where he got a couple good shots there, and he's hit a lot of big shots for us along with Christian here, and that's part of what makes us successful. But at the same time, you have to have your other players doing their part. And with Chris Harlow and Jason Hateman and Matt Kennedy gave us some great minutes off the bench. They hit some big shots in there as well. And with the way they were guarding us, we needed to try to take advantage of the fact that they were trying to switch off and double team those guys whenever they were getting freed up off the screens.
You mentioned Matt Kennedy. Talk about the job he did. I mean, defensively, rebounding. You really stepped up for him today.
Yeah, he's coming along. I mean, he's a good athlete, and with the exception of AJ, he's one of the better athletes on our team, and mentally he's gotten better as far as what we want to do on both ends of the ball. And he came in tonight and played some big minutes for us, and he's progressively got better as the seasons went along, and he gave us some very valuable in the minutes when Hateman picked up a couple quick fouls there, and that's what you need. You need a little depth off your bench, and he stepped into that role, and he's done a good job for us.
Talk about the physical nature and right to the paint. Just kind of
It was fun. I really like.
you like that style of game?
No, not really. But I'll take whatever I can get. And got a lot of guys freed me up in that first half, getting some open shots, and that their defense was good. We just hit most of our shots.
Can you talk about the rise and matchup there? You just didn't cheat rebound.
Well, yeah, he's a good player. He's a special kind of player, and that's what you expect to get to this level. Is you have to have some players that are willing to make plays and that can dominate on both ends of the floor. And I felt like he made some shots early that he's not normally accustomed to. A couple of those were deep. I mean, he doesn't have a ton of three-pointers for the season, and he started off hot and he cooled off a little there late. But all good players come back, and he battled back and gave his team a chance to win. So he's an outstanding player. But we got a pretty good defender guarding him, and he's given up a little bit of size, but this kid's got a lot of heart, and he's battled some good players this season.
Can you explain your run the last 4 or 5 years and how it culminated into today?
Every season's different. Every team is different. As a coach, it's your job to try to utilize those strengths and those weaknesses, and you just want every team to have the best experience that they can, because you only get to play this kids game so long, and you want them to have a good experience, and not very many teams get to finish in this regard. And I'm happy for the other teams, and that's your goal each and every season, is to become the best team you can become, and try to get as deep as you can. But these guys made it as far as you can get there, and I can't be more pleased for them.
Coach, what does this feel like? You got the second got the third up here. What does it mean to now be the state champions and win all things?
I don't know. I don't think it's really sunk in yet. I've always had a lot of faith and confidence in these guys, and they're a great group. And the one thing we talked even last summer, and even at the start of the season, that I recognized was the camaraderie amongst these guys. Their chemistry is good. That's not something that you can actually teach. Their willingness to help each other out. They're extremely smart basketball players, and if you could have been in our huddles whenever we were talking, there's some give and take in there. There's a lot of communication between us. They trust each other to make the right decision. They trust us as coaches, myself and Coach Owens. They trust us, but we made some great adjustments, and that's one of the things we always talk about in games is there's a lot of adjustments to be made, and we did some things that we did on the fly, and they really didn't back down from the situation. They never really lost their cool. They were locked in the timeouts, and even there at the end, we hadn't been in that situation where we went for the home run ball with 3 seconds. I can't say that's necessarily something I was in favor of, but right off the get-go, Gabe was calling for it. And it's a smart play, and that's the kind of players that we have. In this situation, I'm not more of a gambler. I'd like to get my 88-90% free throw shooter at the line, but also with 3 seconds, we felt confident with AJ going long that if we got the ball down to that end of the court, they would have a hard time getting back. And that was a great example of execution and teamwork amongst these guys.
AJ, just talk a little bit about senior year, walking off the court, taking off that foot on your court with the win and everything. Just talk about that.
Coming out with a win feels great, especially to win the state championship. I wouldn't have ever thought of it at the beginning of my high school career, but now I guess it's happened.
When you like draw the three-pointer, did you know it was good? Did you feel good out
It felt good.
One of the things we talk about in practice a lot, with a lot of our shooters in particular, and him, is shooting in rhythm. When he gets his shot in rhythm, he's a confident shooter, and a lot of shooters are that way. So that when he says that, he means that. It's something we have talked about and knowing the difference between. How about some more questions for these guys?
Hey, Chris.
They get tired of me talking.
It looked like early on that they were really concentrating and not letting Webb and Hollenkamp and Owen shoot the ball. They pretty much let you and Heyman kind of let you go free a little bit on the outside. Just talk a little bit about your approach to this game and everything.
I've kind of been expecting that to come at least once this year with them being such great scorers, and Jason really stepped up and made some big shots for us, those 2 threes before the half, and it was nice to get our shots, I guess, but we still wanted to get them touches before we just jacked up a shot.
What's it mean kind of playing with this group here? I mean, that's just the young guy and everything.
Oh, it's so great. They know so much from being here last year. I was just a sub coming in, but they started, and they were able to provide some leadership for me and Jason and Matt. And great group of guys. I'm glad to be a part of it with them.
How does that feel to kind of transition from the substitute role to the starting lineup and contribute
Last year, you kind of come up here, and as a starter, you try to focus on got to be ready for the game, got to be ready for the game. And last year is more, I'm in Peoria. It's all excitement, and you don't really think about the game until you get there. But we roomed together, and it was able to make sure that every starter was focused coming in, and it really helped out a lot.
Gabe, what's this been like?
One more question.
What's this been like for you? Obviously, being a part of the family aspect of the team, but having your dad there as well as an assistant coach.
Yeah, it's just a great accomplishment, both just for my dad and for me. And we've always came here since I was a little kid. And it's just amazing now, just the feeling that I was the one out on the court winning, and my dad was assistant coach. And I also want to just congratulate AJ and Christian because they were both seniors on this team, and it's the first time any seniors for Woodlawn have won their last 2 games for Woodlawn. So that's just I'm sure it's a great feeling for them. I hope Christopher and I both get the opportunity to do that next year, and it's just an amazing feeling right now just being the state champions.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, fellas. Congratulations on a great season.
Take your tags now.
Yeah. Hey, make sure not to take the 100.
What? Said you got in here?
Oh, yeah. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Joey here and coaching
We now have with us the Carrollton Hawks and their coach Jeff Crumweedy. He's brought with him senior guard number 41 Joey Coonrod and senior forward number 43 Cody Kraut. Coach, give us your thoughts on the ball game, then you'll take some questions.
I thought it was a worthy championship game. I hope for everyone that saw it and was involved. I thought it was a very good ball game, and I don't know what the biggest lead either team had, but it wasn't much, and seesawed a little bit there, and they really stepped up and made some big shots, and couldn't stop that barrage of three-pointers. And let's give credit to them because most of them were pretty well guarded, and they're just a tremendous outside shooting team, and they were able to beat us at their game. And I thought we did a nice job of hanging with them. We had a great opportunity with our free throws at the end, and even our last shot, was a shot that I felt like was a good shot opportunity. So we've certainly got nothing to be ashamed of. I thought we played very well, and I'm very proud of the guys, and we'll get over the disappointment of the final score and start to realize the history that our program was able to make this weekend up here because of the kids that I've had the opportunity to work with, including these two guys here.
Jeff, I'm sure Holland Camp and Owens were focused, keeping them off the arc, but stepped up.
Well, let's not forget, I didn't. Most of the time, I know everyone's name, their middle name, and what their birthday is, and which direction they're going to dribble. But we don't have a lot of time to prepare, so I can't tell you the name of number 31 that hit the 2 threes in the first half. We just called him 31 in our pregame, and those were two big shots that I hope folks don't overlook because I feel good for that young man because of the fact that we were so focused on the other 2 or 3. He got an opportunity. We went to our triangle and 2 there, which has been a successful thing for us in the past, and he hit a couple big ones, and so those shots are something I'm sure he's going to remember for a long time.
Joey's talking about Joey's state record for the title game rebounds.
Say it again.
State record, title game record for rebounds in the last 4 games. It's only 5 years.
Yeah.
Talk about his strength and
Joe DiMaggio's streaks lasted a long time. How many was it? 17? That's outstanding. He does that a lot, and doesn't surprise me. But I'm glad that he can leave his name in these record books up here. That's fantastic.
we talked about that last shot. Yesterday, you get the free throw that kind of rims around and falls. Today, that last shot rings in and it falls out.
Yeah, whenever it left my hand, I thought it was going in, but it just didn't bounce our way this time.
So you had 12 points in the first half and 4 in the second half. Was there kind of a difference there between the halves?
I thought they stepped up their defensive pressure a lot better in the second half because in the first half I had some wide open looks there, and they just did a nice job of stepping up their defense.
Jeff, it closed the third quarter with a 9-0 run, followed by 4. Then open the fourth quarter, you guys were 5 minutes without baskets. Was that the difference there in the fourth quarter? You guys could score and make some turnovers.
Yeah, I mean that was a stretch. Both teams had their stretches of good and bad, and we had a tough one there during that stretch. But overall, like I said, I thought we played very well, and the folks that have seen us play all year long will probably testament to that. I thought this was one of the better games we played, mixing offense and defense, and we only scored 45 points. I mean that's not an offensive explosion, but I thought we executed pretty well in most cases, and just like I said, it came down to a couple front ends. And you don't want to focus final results on any 1 or 2 plays because there were a lot of them. But the reason we're here is because we've shot free throws so well, closing out games. And this time we just, what did we finish on the 5 for 8? And, if you'd have told me we only shot 8 free throws, then I'd have said we're probably going to be in trouble because to offset their 3-point barrage, we had to score from the line. And I see we outscored them 5-4 at the line, and that's something that we'll look at. That that should have been better, and it would have been a lot better if we'd have made both of those free throws on those 2 occasions. But certainly not going to point fingers or try to analyze 1 or 2 things that made a difference, because it was every play. You know, these guys know I give them a poem. We talk about it all the time about how each possession can be very important, and every possession I think in this ball game is one that people will look back on that really could have tipped things one way or the other.
You know, rebounded them to 35-21 and outscored 22-point paint. You've been strong inside all year.
Yeah, I was really proud of that. And again, it was 2 separate game plans going in, and one of their 2s I remember was when both of our defenders chased out on, I think it was Hollenkamp in the corner, and we left the slip open, and they were able to get an easy layup, and one of their very few 2-pointers. But they executed their game, which was to shoot the 3, and we did ours. And it just again came down to a couple whistles here and there, a couple free throws here and there that really made the difference, all the way down to the rattle in and out, and really all the way down to the long pass we had where we still had a timeout left. That Jordan, jumps up. It's a contest to catch that thing, and we're going to get a timeout the moment he catches it. And then we're going to have an inbounds play with maybe 1.7 or 1.8, and it's so close that it ends up being called a held ball. And of course, the arrow's in their favor. That arrow is in our favor at that point. I think we got a pretty good chance of getting a shot off. So there's just so many things you can look at.
Don't want to go over on you to talk about the seniors and, what's going to be like about those guys and where the program goes from here.
Well, I told them when they were putting their uniform on today, I don't know if they were thinking about it, but I said, no senior at Carrollton High School has ever known when he was putting it on for the last time. And what a great accomplishment that they knew that when they were putting it on. It was their last time they were going to wear it. We try to tell kids, you play every game like it's your last. You never know what's going to happen. Today they knew it, and I thought they did what they needed to do when they did it. And so having them move on will be no harder than having all the ones that we've had in the past. And you saw probably I had all the guys that I've had in my 18 years at Carrollton that were here today. There was quite a group of them. Came down before the game. We got a picture, and those guys all went through the same disappointment that these guys have gone through, and we had to move on and continue. And that's what we've done over 18 years, is reload, and we'll reload, and these guys will go on to very successful lives after high school, and being a part of our team, I hope, is part of that success that they're going to have.
One more question.
It's great playing here, making it this far, the farthest any team's ever been in boys basketball history at Carrollton. And, we'd like to come back with first place, but it is what it is, and we got second. It was a great season.
Yeah, I've had an incredible experience here, and one we'll never forget. And it's a little disappointing right now, but later on, we'll look back and be excited and proud of what we've done.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, fellas. Congratulations on a great season.